Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ezra, but you can call me Ez.
Anyways, hey guys, so y'all already know it's me, Jose, or you can call me Juice, and I hope y'all are having a great motherfucking planty day. So, today we are going to be making some freaking moss pools, but I thought while we're doing it, I would give us something to talk about. Basically, I kind of created my own tag or whatever. I don't know if people still do tags on YouTube, but I looked it up and I didn't really see anybody else doing this, so it's like dating a plant person tag. So basically, I'm just gonna ask my boyfriend Ezra just a couple of questions about what it's like dating a plant person. So, you know, what it's like living with me and all that stuff. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, please make sure to stick around. If you didn't know, I'd be uploading planty videos every Wednesday and Friday. So if you'd be looking for that, I got you. And if you haven't checked out my other videos already, you should. If you already have, definitely think about clicking that subscribe button.
And give them a rewatch.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Also, don't forget to leave a like or a comment on this video. It'd really help my channel out and I'd also really appreciate it. But anyways, let's get right into it. So as I said in the intro, we are going to be making some moss poles today. And we actually made moss poles together like a year ago.
It's ugly as shit. So we use kind of this really thin netting and these like kind of flexible plastic ties, and it definitely got the job done for a while. This one was living in my monstera, who's back here.
Mm-hmm. We have a little boy meowing out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard.
This is my firstborn.
This is our son, our youngest child, Mr. Grogu. Okay, anyways, let's get started. All right, so we're on the floor and we're gonna get into making these moss poles, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the first question while we cut out the plastic netting stuff. I don't know what it's called. So I have a notebook here with all the questions. I'll also leave the questions down below in the description, so y'all can do it if you want to. Make sure to credit me, of course, but even if you're not dating someone, you can do this with a friend or like a roommate. Whatever suits your situation. But anyways, let's ask the first question. So, what are your general thoughts on houseplants?
I think I love the oxygen quality that we get indoors now that the entire place is stocked with plants. Mm-hmm. And I think it's good decoration, and I think it makes the place look really pretty. I didn't really grow up around houseplants at all. At most, we did like garden plants and like vegetables, and we planted carrots on the ground outside our house. So it's a little bit more like Europe outside in the mud, as opposed to this kind of planty caretaking, I guess. That's kind of the sum of it.
Second question is, how's everyday life around my plants?
It's good. I feel like I'm growing my brain by learning all these scientific names of plants and kind of getting a sense for what the community is like. It's a really interesting little universe that I feel like I'm kind of dipping my toes into that I didn't really know existed at first. And it's cool like finding plants that I'm interested in when we're going to like Pistols or a plant shop or whatever. I enjoy that aspect of it. It seems like a really fulfilling hobby.
It really do be. All right, so we got our cutouts. But anyways, let's go ahead and wet our moss now. So I have a bucket. That's not a bucket. I have a bowl full of water. In this bag, I have some old moss from other projects that we're just gonna reuse. But if we need more, we did get some at the store yesterday, so we are covered on moss. But anyways, let's get into it. All right, so I'll go ahead and ask you the next question. How do you feel about the amount of houseplants I have?
I feel pretty good about it. They're well organized and all of them get enough light, and I think they're spaced out enough that it doesn't feel like any spot is too crowded. However, the experience of moving the plants from one place to the new apartment was a little harrowing, just because they were all kind of in these plastic bins or sitting on the car seat or on the floor of the car. You had to keep the car as level as possible, keep your speed as even as possible, and unfortunately, I think there was a near casualty or one of the plants died.
I had plants fall over.
Yeah. And it's just like when the plants are settled, there's no problem. It's just the concept of moving them is kind of scary.
Yeah. Anyways, now we're gonna go ahead and add the moss, but I'm gonna ask you the next question before we start. So are any of the plants yours? And if so, which ones?
Yes, so my plants are kind of dispersed around the place. So I have an Epipremnum aureum, I have a Calathea. I don't know the specific other part of that name, but I know that it's really pretty.
Calathea ornata.
I also have a big old monstera sitting directly behind me. My umbrella tree died. I have a little baby ginkgo tree, like a little baby sapling that I got from Pistol's Nursery in Portland. You guys want to see the ginkgo? Sad little ginkgo.
You don't want to show them a plant in good condition?
No. So yeah, kind of crispy right now. Epipremnum, she's long. Calathea ornata.
The next question is, which plants do I talk about the most?
That's a good question. Anything philodendron, I'm gonna hear about a lot. I know that the Monstera adansonii has been doing some things.
All right, so we've gotten to the point where we're gonna start zip tying our moss poles together. Ezra actually put a PVC pipe into his so that he can stake his into the soil. I'm gonna also ask him the next question. So, what are my favorite types of plants?
Philodendron.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're kind of already touched on this. Are there any other ones I like besides philodendron? Because I'm pretty sure everyone who watches me knows that because I talk about it a lot.
I might just be saying this because I have a soft spot for Epipremnums and pothos, but I would say that too.
I would also say I really like I only have one, but I really like my anthurium.
Yeah.
Spaghetti eye, so I really want to get more anthurium.
Meatball spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. Which of my plants is your favorite?
I think I like the scale a lot.
Oh, the pink princess?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty.
She's very pretty. She's always good to look at. Which is your favorite out of my plants?
Probably your monstera, because she'd be big. Mine's not as big, but she's cute. So the next question is there anything about plant collecting that bothers you? Or like, do you have any pet peeves or anything?
Yeah, not to piss anyone off, but I think the kind of prohibitively expensive prices of some plants. Some plants online are arbitrarily expensive, and it can be a limiting factor for new people getting into the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess one of my pet peeves about the hobby would probably be the price point. But honestly, like, the benefits of it far outweigh that. Like, just the kind of mental health boost that you get from having a house that's just filled with greenery and like great oxygen saturation. But that's just my opinion.
Alright, so we just finished making our moss poles. I actually cut mine in half so that I can use them for 2 different plants. And then my boyfriend's is a specialty one because he did add a PVC pipe to it. So it is looking all extra fancy. But anyways, let's go ahead and start repotting these into the plants. And then we'll be moving on to the last 2 questions. Alright, so we're gonna start with Ezra's monstera. So she's a very big girl, as y'all can see. Here's what she looks like, kind of. She has a new leaf, but it's all the way on the top, so. But anyways, we're going to be adding the moss pole in. So, are there any plant-related things you have learned from me?
I think just like the kind of general green thumb stuff in terms of like how to tell when a plant needs watering by feeling the leaves or fingering the soil. And like different plants need, you know, different types of light and watered at different times, and just where to get all that information. Also been learning about genuses and different kind of like humidity and watering conditions based on where the plant came from in the world. I'm digging a little hole here in the monstera pot, and I'm gonna stick that pole right in there because last time I had a pole in this plant, it kind of started leaning.
Alright guys, so this is what her new moss pole is looking like, and I think it looks really freaking good. Like, look at that. Thanks. You did a really good job. This is the new leaf, by the way, we were talking about earlier. It's looking really good. She also has another new leaf coming out right here. All right, so now we just need to pot up the plant. I'm going to be putting on this moss pole that I made, but it's my Epipremnum Cebu Blue. She's really cute, and I really want to train her up a moss pole because if y'all didn't know, when these start climbing, they can actually fenestrate. So I'm really trying to get some fenestrated leaves, and also I just think she's gonna look really pretty and do really good. I'm also going to be asking you the last question of the tag, so let's get into it. All right, so the last question is, what do you think life would be like if I was not a plant person?
We probably have more stuff sitting on shelves.
What do you mean? Like non-plants?
Yeah. It's kind of the main decoration here, so I don't think things would be a lot different though.
Yeah.
Well, you're really a creative, like kind of crafty person, so I figure you'd probably be doing like graphic design stuff or like digital art. She's root bound.
She's definitely ready to be repotted. Look at those roots, y'all. Yeah, she's definitely ready to be repotted. I even have some propagations that I thought we'd also pot up with her today. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I got rid of a pretty good amount of the soil. So here's some more root action for y'all. But anyways, let's go ahead and put her in the new pot. So I think I have her all potted up in the soil. So now I am just gonna add the propagations real quick, and then we're going to be tying her to the moss pole. All right, guys, this is how she turned. Oh, literally a fungus gnat just flew at the camera. But this is what she's looking like, and I think she's looking really good. Obviously, the leaves need a little bit of time to adjust, but once they do, and once she starts rooting into this, I think she's going to have a really easy time growing up the moss pole, and I think she's gonna really enjoy it. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please make sure to leave me a like. You can also leave me a comment letting me know how you feel about the tag we did. I really enjoyed asking you the questions, so I hope you had a good time.
I did.
Good. Like I said before, feel free to use the questions for your own videos or just for fun. I'll leave them down in the description. But other than that, if you didn't know, I'd be uploading plant content here every Wednesday and Friday. So if you'd be looking for that, I got you. And if you haven't already checked out my other videos, you definitely should. And if you already have, you should think about clicking that subscribe button down there. Please wish our plants luck. I hope they do really good on the moss poles. I'm actually filming this the day of, so I'm sure this is gonna come out a little later in the day. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.